Well, good morning, everyone. I said good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, as we stand here today and first in Poplar, I want to remind everyone our Pedestrian Safety Review Committee is meeting just inside City Hall. So some of you may be standing in the roadway for our turnaround there. So please move inside that road because some cars may be coming through there, and we certainly don't want them to have to come out here and do their job. But it's a great day to be in Macon-Bibb County, and certainly I know we're all excited to be here on this beautiful morning in downtown Macon to recognize one of our good friends, good workers, and a very humble man. And I say that tongue-in-cheek because Bryan doesn't like to get a lot of praise from other folks, but he certainly likes to brag about himself. But that's only when he's on the pickleball court, so we'll accept it out here. So this is brought to you today by one of our commissioners, and I'll recognize him in just a moment, Miss Commissioner Valerie Wynn. Wanted to make sure that she did something in her own special way to recognize Bryan. I think it was unanimously supported by all the commissioners. So we do appreciate all of them being here today. We got Commissioner Bronson, who's standing here looking like a statue beside something here, covered up. This is his district, so he's very proud of that. That's why he's up here. Commissioner Howell, Commissioner Stewart, and Commissioner Randy Water, thank you for being here today. I know everyone supported, and some of them are at home or their jobs watching this today, but we can tell by the large crowd there today that Bryan has made an impact, not only on Macon-Bibb County, but on your personal lives. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here today with all of our busy schedules. So Bryan started this, back in 2017, is that right? 2017 seems such a long time ago. Time for a pandemic and other things to happen, and I know in just a moment, my good friend Gary Weed's going to talk about that on a more personal level, but also how it's greatly benefited our community, and certainly we all know that. I can probably start just in a few months driving down this road and seeing Bryan in the trees already on his lift, doing some work as many of you do, teaching, I guess, some other folks on how to do it as well, and looking for new and creative ways to expand the presence of these Christmas lights and to add new features each and every day. So it's my pleasure to talk to him often about that, but also to watch how much he loves Macon. And that's something I take near and dear to my heart. As someone who's always been an advocate for our community, like many of you, he really cares and loves about our community. And you can see it in everything he touches, not just the lights, but his project there at Macon Rocks, Taste and See, down to the detail that he spends when he's developing homes for people in our community that need that. So we appreciate that. So our families, our businesses downtown, and our entire community comes together at the end of each year, and looks forward to all the great work that's happened for a lot of people collaborating together. I think Bryan will be the first to tell you is that it's not just Bryan Nichols, it's the community as a whole working together, supporting this effort, and we couldn't do it without working together. So to tell you a little bit more about that, I'll have bring up our fearless leader here, Mr. Gary Weed, with Visit Macon, to give you a little bit more information.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. And it's an honor to be here to talk about somebody that is not only a colleague, but also somebody I consider a friend. And I moved here to Macon from Colorado in January of 2017. And when I'd be missing Colorado and those aspen trees and mountains a little bit, I'd always wander into Taste and See. And I met Bryan there, and he welcomed me to the community. But he started talking about this idea he had. Well, in our world, a lot of people come to you with a lot of ideas. And so you kind of go, oh yeah, that's a great idea. But the more you listen to Bryan and his passion, not only for the project, but for Macon. And the more he got excited, the more I got excited. And I'm proud to say, as he got closer to hanging those lights, and I would tell our team, well, let's just see. Let's just see. And sure enough, he was out there every day from dusk to dawn, up there putting those lights up. And we said, well, this is going to go. This is going to be a great thing. So we got behind it on the marketing scale at Visit Macon, and we started to tell the world about this special event. And then we got in it in the financial resources and being able to support it a little bit here and there. And this thing took off. And as the mayor said, in 2020, when travel shut down, Bryan still hung those lights, and it was outdoors, and people could come and enjoy their families and be back together again. And I think it was a very special thing for us to be able to have that, inasmuch that we started getting all this publicity. And my counterparts from across the country would call me and go, Gary, what's this special thing y'all are doing with Christmas lights down there? We really want to replicate that. And I would just remark in the most humble tone, I have no idea what you're talking about. We don't have any Christmas lights. But that's a testament to the hard work that Bryan does each and every year. And this is definitely overdue to be able to honor him in this way. And as the mayor says, this is not just a special thing for the people of Macon. This is a special thing that draws people from all over the world. To the tune of the last 2 years, technology caught up and we're able to track what Bryan's event does and what he's been able to do with Macon Pops, Newtown, and all the wonderful things happening downtown. And in the last 2 years alone, we've seen over 1.5 million visits. That's pretty special. And that translates into the last 2 years, $14 million in the economic impact that comes into our community, that helps our neighbors, our business owners, and our friends. So Bryan, on behalf of Visit Macon, I want to say thank you to you and to your family, because they've had to put up with what you've done and your passion. But if you want a clinic and a workshop on what it means to love your community, be passionate about your community, you look no further than Bryan Nichols, Mayor Miller, our commission, all the friends and neighbors that are here today. But thank you, Bryan, from the bottom of my heart to my friend for what you have done. And also, I want to bring up another friend of ours that's going to talk about this, who initiated this project, but my commissioner, Valerie Wynn.
Thank you, Gary. Yeah, I am your commissioner. Remember that, okay? Listen, they asked me to say, why is this important? Why did this happen? Well, you just heard a lot about why this was important. You know what? First year you did it, Bryan. The second year, I stopped down there when you were hanging lights and trees. I said, can I help? He said, no. He will not let you do this. He wants to do most of this, if I'm not mistaken, just about all of it for the first 2 years on his own. It's amazing, y'all. It's amazing. This idea, you are so wonderful. You come up with all these ideas. You got the rock climbing business up here, Taste and See. And Gary, I went to that too in the morning and eat the good treats in the morning. But you just come up with so many ideas. That's just wonderful. We love having you in our community, and he does love this community. You all know that by what he does for us here. I just want to say that not only, because Gary said this, but not only are we helping our community, everybody comes to this, no matter who you are, black, white, young, old, everywhere. They come and they enjoy, and we get along. That's what's so great about this event. Think about it. And then this is one of the top, Gary, I think you agree that this is one of the top 3 or 4 events for the city of Macon, and to draw more people here than almost everything else. I'm so proud for you. I just want to say that this is an event to name this area. I wanted to name all of Poplar Bryan Nichols Way, but a couple other names were on part of the street. So we're naming it Bryan Nichols Way from here down to the next block. And we're going to have the signs up, and I want you to go look at them, have your picture made with that, you know, see that. I'm so proud for all of you to be here for Bryan. This man deserves this. He is so innovative, and I just think this is a wonderful thing. The lights, when people come to town, when people have families that come visit them, they come see the lights. They come see the lights. I bring friends and family when they come visit me, let's go see the lights. Or they're asking me, let's go see the lights, the Macon Extravaganza lights, the Christmas Extravaganza lights. And everybody wants to see it. And we come back, and now you're adding more. You're making it harder for us to go in every direction downtown, but that's wonderful. You've expanded it down 3rd Street on both sides, if I'm not mistaken, Bryan. And we're going to wait and see when it comes up 2nd Street and then goes up Cherry Street and all that good stuff. I can remember the days when I was a little girl. I was born and raised in Macon, when my father used to put all the kids in the car and we ride around Macon looking for Christmas lights to look at. Guess what? We can still do that, but we don't have to. Just put the kids in the car and come down here. And it's all here for us, and it's wonderful. And there's interactive things, and there's wonderful things that go on with the families. And I'm just so grateful for you. I just think you're wonderful. I do. He's such a humble guy, y'all. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight. He doesn't want all this stuff, but we're doing it anyway, okay? I just thought you were very deserving of it. And before I sit down, who do I have to introduce again? Who? Bryan. Oh, Bryan. Okay, I guess Bryan, you should be the one. I was going to call on you, but I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody like the mayor or something like that. But everybody, let's give a round of applause to our hero, Bryan Nichols.
Well, I really don't know what to say, so I had to think long and hard about it, because this really is an honor, but it is also very humbling for me. So I am truly honored and humbled that this is happening today, and I don't really have words to describe it. To me, this has always been about Macon and making it a better place for our people and our businesses, and to be recognized for what I've had the pleasure to accomplish is truly humbling. I've always been honored to be a part of the team with so many great people and organizations to make this place better for everybody. One of the things that I was asked to do was to talk about how the light show started. And it was kind of funny because, you know, I've served on Main Street and on the Newtown Board and on several other community organization committees and different things. And we all talk about the same thing, and it's how to make Macon a better place, how to bring in tourism, how to have more family-friendly events in downtown. All the things I was hearing in the different places was exactly the same. Well, it just so happened that one day we were sitting in a Main Street board meeting at the terminal station, and I brought up Christmas lights because it was one of the things that I noticed that people would drive to, and they would drive an hour, sometimes 2 and 3 times a year, just to see one house lit up with Christmas lights. So I thought, well, what if we did something amazing like that in downtown, but what if we not only did it this way, but we made it bigger and better and something that people would drive from all over the country to see. So that's where the idea to make it sync to music came from. If you've ever seen the Great Christmas Light Fight on ABC, you know, I thought, well, what if we did a whole city that way? Which I thought would be easy at the time. It sounded easy. Until you fly to the Christmas Expo to learn about Christmas lights for them to say that can't be done, which was very disappointing to find out, because I was hoping to cheat and steal somebody else's idea and just do that. But in the Main Street board meeting, they kind of looked at me like I was crazy, because not only was it something that had not been done, but how are we going to finance it? How are we going to pull it off? Well, my good friend who we lost last year, Josh Rogers, so creative. But I went to him and was talking to him about it, and I didn't have a bigger fan than Josh Rogers with everything that I ever said that I wanted to do. He was my biggest fan, as well as my hero with so many other things. But I mentioned it to him, and he said, well, why don't you apply for a grant to get the funding for it? And I said, I don't know anything about grants, don't want to know anything about grants, and I sure don't want to have to fill out a grant. So he did it for me, and it wasn't the Downtown Challenge grant, it was a different one. And so he applied for it, and a little time went by, and I said, well, how'd that grant go? He goes, you didn't get it. And I said, well, I guess we're not supposed to do it. And he said, no, wait a minute, there's other opportunities. Don't give up so easy. And I said, okay. And that's when we were having the Downtown Challenge going on here in Macon through the Macon Action Plan and all the other great things that were happening. So he applied for a grant with them. Well, of course, since I didn't get the first one, I didn't think I'd get the second one. And believe it or not, there were people who believed in the vision that I had for the Christmas lights and funded it through the Macon Action Plan and the Downtown Challenge Grant. Because of that, I was able to then begin the process of trying to figure out how to do this, because I didn't put much effort into figuring it out until I knew it was going to be something that was going to be reality. There wasn't enough money, even with the grants. But then there was the Urban Development Authority that stepped in. People like Jacob Patton with Allstate stepped in. Byron Powell's with Powell's Boring stepped in. So many other community people stepped in and said, oh, we're here with you. We're going to make this happen. So through a lot of dedication, through so many people, we were able to pull off the first year with the 2 city blocks. Not knowing who was going to come, not knowing how big it was going to be. We didn't even advertise it the first year. And the reason we didn't know if it would even work or not. I will never forget, in the next round of Downtown Challenge grants was being given out, and Catherine Dennis at the Community Foundation had said, hey, we need to know what night the show's kicking off, because we want to have our next award winners at the show. And I said, I don't know. She said, what do you mean? I said, well, I don't know if it'll work or not. She said, what do you mean you don't know if it'll work or not? And I'm thinking, how do you tell somebody who gave you money to do something you don't know if it'll work or not? So I just set a date, and we went to pull it off. And what a lot of people don't know is I didn't know if it would work or not the night it happened. And I stood beside the controller the entire show, hoping it would work, only to watch all the people in amazement of what had just happened, and I couldn't believe it worked myself, because that was the first time I had even seen the show, even after all that hard work. But after that happened, and I realized it was going to be something that was going to be something we could pull off every year, we went on to add 2 more city blocks. With those 2 city blocks, we had 4 city blocks with over 500,000 lights at the time. And I couldn't have done it without people like Steve Moretti, because the whole goal of this, you've talked about how much I loved Macon, but I wanted this to be 100% Macon owned. And the only way to do that was for the music even to be Macon music. And who better to do that with than Steve Moretti and the Macon Pops? And when he said he would do it, I thought he was crazier than me. He didn't even know me. So he took it, ran with it. When people come to Macon to experience the Christmas lights, they truly get a Macon-only experience, which is to me what makes this thing more special than any other light display anywhere else in the world. But I would like to thank a lot of people. I know I'm going to leave some people out, but I could not have done this without these people for sure. So if y'all will just give me a moment. First off, I'd like to thank my family for sure. Man, the long nights, the nights when I couldn't be home, the nights when I would go to a basketball game or a volleyball game in between. I would show up, run in, watch my kids play, to leave and go back out, to be out there till the wee hours of the night to try to figure out what's happening. Landon, Chloe, Heather, Morgan, and Daniel. My mom, for all her hard work, especially in the first few years where I was trying to troubleshoot, and she would even just sit in the car because it was too cold to be outside, to guard the computer at 12 o'clock at night so I could pull off something like this. Even like my nephew Cooper testing lights, at the warehouse to get them working every year. The mayor, Mayor Miller and Rickard, for their trust in me to do something like this. County Commission, same thing. I mean, I couldn't have done it without you guys allowing me to do it. I'll never forget going to commission with the idea, I think it was 2015, and I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but I only had one question asked in the meeting, and it was, what are we going to do with all the people? And that's when I knew that commission understood how big this could be. Parks and beautification, man, Michael Glisson and his team, what they do every day is amazing, but what they do for me, I can't say thank you enough. Bibb County Sheriff's Office and all the amazing men and women who serve our community every day to keep us safe, especially during the lights. The Knight Foundation, Peyton Anderson Foundation, and Community Foundation, without them, this would have just never happened. I mean, it would not have happened. The Urban Development Authority and Alex Morrison for always being there for me with everything that I've ever needed, even if it was just you can do this. Newtown Macon, for your support, for being my fiscal agent, and for always being there. Emily Hopkins and the hard work and dedication that she gave to me from Main Street and from Newtown has been huge. Visit Macon for their dedication to spread what we have going on here to the country. The Industrial Authority for their support over the years. Allstate Electrical, I know I've said it, but Jacob Patton, without you, brother, you're not just a sponsor and somebody who did so much for me here. It truly would not have happened without you, my friend, and I'm very thankful. Robbins Financial for their support from day one. Bob Lewis and Associates for never even questioning, just saying yes. You truly love this town as much as I do, and I know that. Pain Specialist and Spa Medical, Dr. Harper, same thing. 5-Star Credit Union for buying in. Northway Church and Phil Anderson, Kevin Mills for their leadership, and the great volunteers and ambassadors who show up to be the face of our community so that I don't have to do it every night, and to love on those who show up in our town. GHC Mechanical and Jackie Gregory for buying in with me early on before this show even existed, when we were putting up ground displays to make sure that our city had Christmas lights. All the amazing sponsors who I did not show there, and Solomon Deaton, Trey Deaton for his support, for saying yes. Y'all do understand, this is a free show. This is one of the most amazing shows in the country, and it's absolutely free, and you can come as much as you want. Charles Thorogood, who is not here today, but a good friend, who the show also wouldn't have happened. Everything you see that goes on technology-wise, that's my good friend Charles that makes it happen. Couldn't have done it without him. Sarah Mullis, man, you being out here in the street with me means the world to me, not just for the trees being hung, but the love and support that you give me and the push. Al Gingrich, one of the hardest working men I know, who has shown up in the last couple of years and has brought me life. Y'all understand that you do get tired, but when you have people come alongside you every day that are here to support you, it makes it easier. I still can't thank the Pops enough, Steve Moretti and Matt Cattengoob, not just for the music that you hear, but these are original arrangements only for Macon, Georgia, which is even more special. And every year they work hard to make it work. They took this show from being awesome to spectacular. Y'all see what I did there with the spectacular thing? John Beachy and Ben Gingrich from Live Sound AV for saving me so many times on nights like opening night. Annie Billsman and the Christ Chapel team for being here for me when I needed them. And all the incredible volunteers that we've had come down here over the years, too many to name, to help hang the lights. This really is a team effort to pull off every year, and I couldn't do it without the love and support of the community and the sponsors. I get to watch families in the street every year, making memories, kids dancing, people getting engaged, children laughing and playing, lines to the doors of businesses, tons of pictures being taken in cars as far as the eye can see. I love what we have accomplished so far, and I look forward to all the great things to come in the years to come. I feel we are still just pricking the surface of what we can do with the Christmas lights, but also what we can do as a community by working together, which we do so well here. I am truly honored and humbled today that you guys would honor me. It is a very difficult thing for me to accept, but I know the heart of which it's given, and I'm very grateful. So thank you.
Told you he's a very humble man. Bryan talked so long, I thought they were going to start putting the lights up already for Christmas. And I say that out loud, I thought I was thinking that. Well, it's your day, Bryan. What you don't know is the most spectacular thing for Macon-Bibb County when we put a sign up like this or replica lights right here is now that this is Bryan Nichols Way, you get responsible for all the potholes, the cracks, the calls from our citizens, by the way. We'll give you his number after it's over. C-Click Bryan will fix it. So, no, we're excited that everybody's here today. Bryan, thank you for recognizing everyone else here. It takes a lot of people working behind the scenes, and I know Northway Church was a part of that as well. And I remember seeing their signs come up here and how good of a ministry they have to help our community as well. So we appreciate everyone's involvement in this. And like I said, I can feel the love outside today. A lot of people here are represented today. And certainly it's worth doing what we do. So at this time, I want to let you know this is just a replica, Bryan. We've already got the signs there. We'll be unveiling in just a second. But we'd like to ask our family to come forward to remove the cover here today for this replica. And we'll do that, and then we'll move over to the sign across the street very safely. Remember pedestrian safety, and we'll unveil the sign that's actually already installed on the street itself. So you got everybody here?
Sign. That's Grandma. That's Grandma. I mean, if Grandma could come like a little bit in front, actually. I can come in here. Yeah. Yes, you come. There we go. Perfect. And then first, we're just going to smile at me, okay? Everyone just smiling right now. Ready? Smiling right here, looking at me. All right.